Hello and welcome back to the EDC Squirrel. I've got yet another new unboxing, and this one is going to be from Kizer. And been waiting a little bit for this one because it took a while to ship. Let's see. Now the knife model itself has been out, I think, for a little bit. However, the new release is a different type of scale material or handle material. And what we got here, we'll get rid of all this. Okay, it doesn't say outside. There you go. Got it. Kizer. Wow, I can't talk today. Our typical Kizer box. And there we go. Make sure I got everything set. Okay, and what we have here is the Kizer Bulldog. Let me go ahead. We get a... Looks like we got some Omega springs. This is a crossbar lock knife. A few extra screws. I really like this about Kizer. I had to give you a few extra parts and whatnot. You got your microfiber cloth and a new sticker. This is cool. I've got three or four different stickers now. I think I doubled up on one or two of them. But neat new sticker. Got some parts. We'll put that off to the side. But this is the Kizer Bulldog. And like I said, I think this model's been out for a bit. However, I don't think in this wooden scale. I think the wooden scale is new for this year. It's got a, let's see what kind of wood this is. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Carudi wood. So this is a Nitro V steel blade. Carudi wood scales for the handle. Crossbar lock. It looks like an ambidextrous pocket clip. And you got thumb studs for blade for blade manipulation. So you got two ways of doing this. You either got the thumb studs or you have the crossbar lock. But the thing that drew me to this knife right away, and I've seen this before, I was going to get one with my micarta handles until I saw that this was released with the Carudi wood. I hope I'm saying that right again. It's spelled with an M, but I don't know if that M is silent or is maybe the K is silent. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, what really drew me to this knife was the type of blade that it had. Now, it is a Nitro V steel, one of my favorite steels for knives of this price range, which is, in this case, I remember correctly, under $70. But you got a modified sheep's foot, if I understand that right. Kind of like a cleaver-like blade. Really cool. I don't have... I have other knives that are somewhat similar, but not like this. What's this here? We have the Bulldog Osho, I think, is the one who designed this blade, or this knife. And we got there on the other side, it shows Nitro V. Very strong springs. That blade snaps out pretty damn quick. I noticed that on a lot of knives with thumb studs, placement of the thumb stud can really matter on how easy it is to actuate the blade. And this one just feels like they're in the right place. Like I've I've got other knives with thumb studs where they're really close to the handle or the scales. You've got a fair bit amount of space in here, which just makes it really easy to use those thumb studs. It feels really snappy, really nice. I don't know if you guys are getting that sound. Really nice sounding lock. Real positive sounding lock. Let's see here. All right. Yep, no movement again on the blade when it's locked. And perfectly centered. I've been so lucky with all the knives I've been getting so far, with the exception of just a couple and the majority of my really early knives before I started getting really serious about collecting knives. But I haven't had many except for that. Actually, that one SOG that I just showed was off-center just a hair. And a lot of those really cheap gas station knives tend to be all over the place. So these knives from Kizer have all been perfectly aligned when seated in there. I love the feel of the wood. You'd think they'd be really slick, but they're very grippy. I'm not too familiar with this type of wood and its hardness, or how well it'll take marks or nails. So time will tell when I carry this on the daily. We've got some stand-up, or we don't have any stand-ups, do we? Got a backliner. Let's take a look here. Yeah. Okay, that goes not even fully halfway, but maybe like a third of the way along the back. Again, really nice feeling springs. I like the stronger springs, or the stronger tension when it comes to my crossbar locks. And crossbar locks are probably one of my favorite locking mechanisms for folding knives. Really secure, can handle quite a lot of pressure, and it also has a really good benefit. They're not only inherently ambidextrous, but you can close the knife down without having any of your fingers or your thumb having to cross in the path of the knife. Well, one of the reasons why I've been straying away from liner lock knives, because with liner locks you get to have your thumb, or liner locks and frame locks. Liner locks and frame locks, you have to have your thumb pass by where the blade would normally close, so you have to be a little bit more careful when you close it. Whereas crossbars, button locks, and a few other various types of locks, like shark lock, super lock, your fingers can stay out of the path of the blade, and you can swing it shut. You can also use the crossbar studs to open it without having to use the thumb studs. Pretty positive detent. It is a weighty blade. I mean, that's a pretty positive detent there. So, but it is a weighty blade. I wonder if I can, yeah, I can slam it down. It'll open up. Most knives I have, you can swing it down and they will open. It's just, I mean, you've got essentially a steel weight that'll defeat most, aside from the strongest detents around. So that's not necessarily a negative. I expected that because it's a pretty thick blade. Well, actually not so much thick as in the blade itself, but it's got a pretty big belly, kind of like a cleaver style. You got a nice grip. Excuse me. I got a nice full grip on this. I don't have the biggest hands, but I can get really up in there, up on the blade for detailed cutting, carving. You got some nice jimping on the back of the blade. Something interesting on this one also is you have a bit of jimping forward on the blade, right up in front, so you can get your finger up on there, get a nice bit of grip, and do like draw cuts. I don't know how, the way my camera's set up, it's a little hard to show, but so you got some nice little bit of jimping up towards the front that can help you apply pressure for draw cutting. Really slicey blade. I believe this is flat ground. Yeah, flat ground blade. Again, Nitro V, great steel for knives at this price point. Stainless, so that'll help with corrosion resistance. And another nice thing about this is, I failed to mention, this is, I think, is it 3-inch? I know it's, oh no, okay, they have it listed as exactly a 3-inch blade, so I can carry this without any problem, because I do live in an area where knife length or blade length is restricted, so I can carry this without issue, with it being 3 inches of blade length. Now, there are still certain areas that I wouldn't be able to carry this because they're even more restrictive, but I very rarely venture into those areas, so that shouldn't be a problem. The wood is relatively light feeling. Like I said, very grippy. Doesn't feel slick at all. Feels good in the hand. The pocket clip, I can kind of feel it right in there with a full grip, but it doesn't feel very... well, I do notice it, but it doesn't feel like it would get any irritation. It kind of sort of melds in there, and I don't notice any discomfort. Maybe if I was using this knife for an extremely extended period of time, but I don't see that happening. Like if I was just continuously cutting for like hours. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't really find that to be irritating really in any way. I mean, it's there, and that's about all I can really say with the pocket clip in terms of getting a full grip on there. Really pretty satin finish on that blade. The wood looks really nice. I'm really curious as to how well this is going to look after it's been in my pocket. Keys getting scuffed up. It's one of those things where wood tends to be much more malleable, obviously, than a lot of other scale types like G10, micarta, obviously aluminum. But I think that little scars like that tend to add to the aesthetic of the knife. So we'll see how that goes in the long run. But otherwise, beautiful knife. This one again from Kizer. Now, I've said before, I think this Bulldog's been out for a while. The scales, I believe, are new. So for this year, under $70. I'll go ahead and put an affiliate link below. And if you're interested, they do have other styles, like I mentioned before. I believe they have a micarta handled version. I don't know if they have a G10 version. Let me take a quick look. Okay. Yeah, on Amazon, they do have a micarta version and also a black aluminum scaled version for... Actually, it looks to be maybe a couple bucks less than the micarta version, if I'm understanding that correctly. Yeah, aluminum scales on that one. And that one I think was saying $67 on Amazon. But like I said, I'll put an affiliate link below for the Bulldog if you're interested. I don't know if they have the wooden version available on Amazon. I will take a look, and if I can get that affiliate link, I'll get that down there. Otherwise, the affiliate link I have, or I'll be putting down there, will be for either the micarta or the aluminum version of this blade. But I wanted to let you guys check this out with me, and really nice, beautiful blade. I love the wood handles. I'm really getting into the wood scales on a lot of these pocket knives because they've been looking exceptionally beautiful. I have just a couple other knives with wood scales, and they all look amazing, and this is no exception. So go check it out. Thanks for joining me here at the EDC Squirrel. I really appreciate your support. Hope you guys are enjoying the little videos that I've been putting out, and I hope to see you in the next video. So thanks again, and bye-bye.